Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwahn and welcome to the channel. We have some more reaction content for you, and today we are going to be checking out Tower of Fantasy. Tower of Fantasy is an MMO action RPG that is coming out of China and is not available anywhere else at this point in time. It will be having a Western release. Most of the talk right now is it'll be sometime this year in 2021, but since they've not formally said anything, we don't know. And most of what the buzz around it has been by people that actually have access to and can interpret the Chinese gaming media is that Tower of Fantasy is looking to be not necessarily Genshin Impact, but fill the same space as Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact being Breath of the Waifu, a anime-style game that copies Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda from 2017 for the Nintendo Switch. Genshin Impact taking a lot of that, adding in a gacha mechanic into that for characters and being a live service, and it's done incredibly well for itself. Helps that the game is really cute. Eve has gacha MMO. I don't know about this one. I don't know if Tower of Fantasy is. I know that Genshin Impact is a gacha MMO. We don't know a ton about Tower of Fantasy, but they had an initial reveal for the game some months ago, and then they're like, we know the game isn't out yet, but we're overhauling the graphics anyway, and they just released a trailer for the graphics overhaul. So we're, to introduce ourselves to Tower of Fantasy, going to check out the initial reveal trailer, because this is a game that just went right over my head. I didn't even know it existed until someone I followed on Twitter was like, hey, check out the graphics overhaul. And I was like, oh, hey, I'll check this out on stream. And so we got the reveal trailer, and then we'll see what the graphics update actually looks like. So, without further ado, let's begin. Unreal Engine is good. Hold on just a second. There are not closed captions on this. If they talk too much, none of us are going to know what's going on, so. Crossplay, I wonder? I bet it does. You can access your account information for Genshin Impact from any device, so. Like, super techy. Gotta show off that character creator. Gotta be able to make your perfect waifu. Otherwise, we don't want the game. Although this is already something that sets it very apart from Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact wants to sell you characters, whereas this, you are playing your own character. So if there is a gacha mechanic, it has to be like weapons or armor or something. Holy shit! I'm totally into the anime aesthetic, by the way. Like, super into it. The more it looks like anime, the more interested I am. Yeah, this looks really pretty. You can fucking surf! Okay, so we are getting some very Breath of the Wild, like, gameplay aspects in terms of, like, shield surfing, being able to climb up walls. But where Genshin Impact is very, like, high fantasy with swords and magic, we have guns and motorcycles here, and jetpacks. We got sharks with freaking laser beams on their heads. I'm also getting the feeling that there's more of a more direct story going on here. Well, that was sad. Okay, this looks fucking fun. get mounted like it's fucking Monster Hunter? Very Zelda inspired. I mean, imitation is the purest form of flattery. Also, if someone does something that makes them shitloads of money and you can do something similar. Interesting. I will say that definitely the gameplay of it, we'll check out the graphics update in just a second. But the gameplay of it definitely looks way more entertaining than Genshin Impact does. Because like Genshin Impact, because they're wanting to sell you characters, and the way that they make the characters is that they all share a model. A skeleton, I mean. They all largely share a skeleton, and different characters will share the same weapon types, and all of those weapon types fight the exact same way. They all have the same like 3 or 4 hits, and normally they'll have like a different weapon, and maybe the character will have their own special move, but otherwise the general combat loop and gameplay will be the same across all of the characters that use longswords. And so the amount of depth that exists within the actual combat for Genshin Impact is largely what pushed me away from it, because I just got bored with the like same exact things that happen every single time. Now, I'm not saying that that might not be the case here as well, but this combat at least looks like it has a little bit more, I don't want to say interaction, because that's not quite the right word, but there's just it has a little bit more. Like, we see characters dashing and jumping around, and we see a multitude of abilities that are small rather than big flashy ones, and it just looks like the combat itself might have just on its own more enjoyment in it. Oh, this looks beautiful. Character literally just executes another character on screen. It's fine. I like the open world idea while still having a main root storyline. I like that too, because that's another thing that hurts Genshin Impact for me. Is it has a main story, technically, but it feels like the just smallest piece of the game. Smallest piece. And instead you're bouncing around cities and stuff and looking at stories for other people and being introduced to characters that are going to be put into the gacha system so that you'll hopefully spend money on trying to pull those characters. And sometimes those characters are super cool, but I'd also like something that actually makes me want to see what happens next rather than what you're going to try to sell me next. That is standard MMO though. Have you played Final Fantasy XIV, Eve? Because that game has a very strong main storyline to it that really wants you to keep playing through the main storyline. There's shitloads of distractions if you want them, but there is definitely a very main story to it, and each expansion of Final Fantasy XIV expands upon it. And like each expansion has its own story that it wants to take you through. Now then, though, let's see. Because that reveal trailer that we just watched was on the original graphics, so let's see what they look like now. I didn't feel like they looked bad, but hang on. I can barely tell the difference. Hold on. It doesn't look that much different, guys. You're talking about a graphical upgrade, and it looks like you changed your lighting. That's not even the same person. Her shorts, they're about to disappear. The trees are noticeable, though. Well, I guess it's because they're completely different trees. The grass. Yeah, grass is noticeable. I was looking at like larger textures, and those haven't changed much. Okay, that was a more significant difference. Maybe stop the video halfway through. The problem is this video is compressed pretty hard. And so even if I stop it right here, it's kind of hard to tell the difference because of the compression. Both sides look blurry. But you can see some difference in here. I think they've just replaced all of these like palm tree style trees with these more like regular Trials trees. Boxes was not changed at all. This is one of those moments where Michael's low perception is showing. Hey now. Hey. Rude. I also wish that they would have left the character design for the before and after the same, because like this character, I think that this model looks really good. I feel like the character model here is very like clean and well designed, but they change it to a completely different character. And so I can't even tell if there's a difference because you just changed the character. Well, you made your run animation better. Recycle. Whee! You can ride the amusement park if you so need. Well, that looks cool. That looks cool. Cool. Now, while that didn't necessarily, like, it didn't blow my mind in terms of visual updates whatsoever at all. It definitely didn't look bad before, and even if it's just small improvements moving in now, it still looks good to me, so I'm not going to be complaining about that. Freaking jetpacks! Okay, let's go! Right? So yeah, that looked good. It is free to play, I do know that, which makes me wonder how they're monetizing it, but that we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, they can't do character gacha mechanics the same way, but we'll see what happens. To those of you that are watching on YouTube, though, I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. Leave them down in the comments below if you thought it looked good. If you'd seen this game before now, let me know if you followed along in the development. If you're just seeing it for the first time, let us know what your thoughts are. Oh, interesting. So the UI got changed also here. We can see here, left mouse button, right mouse button from like in the earlier... Wait, can we get back here? But these are also set out the exact same way as like how you'd be able to tap them on a phone. And now they're a little bit smaller. I don't know, we'll just have to wait and see. I knew like nothing about this game before we got to this point, so. But I will be keeping a tab on it, and since it's free to play, it means that I can try it without like any regret whatsoever. Maybe. We'll see. Anywho, so I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on it. Also, these reactions happen live on stream. We stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays and do the reactions after our regularly scheduled content on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You're more than welcome to join us. A lot of the trailers are dropped by the community, and they have a specific channel dedicated to them in our Discord server, and there's links to everything that I just mentioned down in the description below. Now, we also have other reaction videos on our YouTube channel, as well as a series called First Impression, where we play through the beginning of a video game and review it from the perspective of only what it shows us in its opening moments. So if anything of that sounds interesting to you, please go check it out. I hope you do, and if you do, go watch another one of the YouTube videos, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you and enjoy. Peace out.